Well, first of all, thanks for having us. It's when we're a sport like track and field, we get invited to a press conference. That's a big thing. Big week for us this week. We've got Air Force Invitational, annual Air Force Invitational. We're expecting over 20 teams, including all the Division I teams along the Front Range. And kind of the highlight of this meet is bringing back BYU. They have come to this meet. It's been a tradition of theirs, and when they left the conference, they kept it a tradition. So we're excited to keep our rivalry thing going with them, and that's a big thing. And the big thing that that's been happening in our program is the phenomenal success of our pole vaulters, and that is due to this guy right here, Coach Steffan. He's in his 6th year with us. Came to us from the University of New Mexico, and he's just done a dynamite job of developing a really, arguably, the leading collegiate pole vault program in the country. They were featured on the cover of the January Vaulter magazine. That's a magazine I know you all subscribe to. Last spring, he was voted the Western Region Assistant Coach of the Year for all events. And then you maybe saw in the release this past week at the Vault Summit in Reno, he was named Outstanding Collegiate Pole Vault Coach in the country. And I'll let him talk a little bit about some of his standouts, starting with Cal Simmons, and then it doesn't stop there.
Yeah, Cal Simmons is probably the top pole vaulter right now. Competed at the Olympic trials this last summer. Cal's a little nicked up right now. He's got a little bit of a foot issue, but he will try to jump Saturday. I mean, he's jumped 18.2 and he's done a phenomenal job, and we're excited to have him as probably our team leader. And his twin brother, Rob Simmons, who just came back on the team, is also a 17.10 pole vaulter. So I always laugh because I coach two of the skinniest pole vaulters in the country whose poles are only bigger than they are. But then the list goes on and on. Dylan Bell, who's a freshman, PR, jumped 17.4 at the summit this last weekend. Joey Yulee, who's jumped 17.6, is also one of the top vaulters, along with Chase Cooper, a local boy from Denver, who's a 17.4 pole vaulter. But I've been really lucky to be at the Air Force Academy. I can't believe it's in my 6th year. Coach Lindeman's given me everything I need to help these guys jump high. We have a lot of fun. It's been a just absolute joy coaching these guys and getting to the level where they are right now.
Scotty, how have you kind of been able to have this magic touch? Success?
I've been doing this for 22 years. We try to have fun. I mean, I've been coaching pole vaulters all the way from Virginia to Wichita State to New Mexico and here, and I've got a lot of people that help me, along with Coach Lindeman, who's always helping us coach the vaulters. We have a volunteer assistant by the name of Gory Hull, who coached Nick Heisong and Stacy Dragila back in their heyday, and has been one of my mentors. But I've been lucky to have great role models as coaches, and we have a lot of fun. The Academy's a great place. We get a lot of crazy guys that like to pole vault, and it's a lot of patience and time. But these guys work very well and do a great job for me and do everything I ask, and it's worked well so far.
You gave some examples of some heights that these guys are clearing. How does that compare with what they were coming in at? I mean, how much have you been able to?
Cal Simmons came in out of California, Rockland area. He's a 15.6, maybe 16-footer. So he's improved almost 2 feet along with his brothers. They just work hard. Joey Yulee came in as about a 17-footer, and he's jumped 17.6. I think he'll jump higher. He's a sophomore. Dylan Bell, the freshman, who I'm really excited about, he jumped 17.2. He jumped 17.4, he jumped 72 in high school, so he's PR'd by about 2 inches. But I think Joey and Dylan, I really think, are fixing to jump 18 feet, which is kind of a benchmark of being pretty good. But they've improved and do well, and I'm just lucky.
Is there anything you do that other pole vault coaches don't? I mean, what?
No, the pole vault's pretty much, it's all the same thing. We all do the same thing and teach it the same way for the most part. It's just these guys work hard, and the chemistry works well. I mean, they trust me. I think you've got to have a good relationship with your athletes for them to do well, and it's just working well right now. We're in a groove. We're clicking. They all get along really, really well, and the main thing, I think, we have a lot of fun at the Academy. When Coach Lindeman brought me up here 6 years ago, I was real excited. I had 2 questions. One, I still want to be called Scotty on the track. Coach and Mister, I just never worked. And 2, I want to know we have fun. I went to the University of New Mexico, and we looked up at the Academy like those guys never have fun. But that was totally wrong. We have fun, we enjoy it, and it's just a great atmosphere to pole vault here, and I think that's why we're doing so well right now.
Coach, you mentioned Cale jumped at the trials, Olympic trials.
Yes.
What do you think the potential is of he or any of your vaulters someday?
I think Kel's a senior right now. He's going to graduate. He's actually going to get stationed in Germany. So this is probably his last year pole vaulting. I think he could jump 18.6 and higher if his foot holds together. I really do. He has a shot to. Healthy, I think everything worked. He could be at least top 3 at the NCAA meet. Dylan Bell and Joe Eulie are young guys. I think have a lot of potential. They both could jump mid-18s by the time they graduate here, and we'll see. I mean, if you're jumping 18.6 to 18.8, the right time at the Olympic trials, you might make the team. So you never know at that meet. As long as you get there and perform well, you could have a shot at going, but we'll keep our fingers crossed.
How did Cale do at the trials?
He had a little bit of a bone foot. He has a navicular bone that's hurt right now, and it kind of really hampered him. I mean, he went up there and battled and everything. It was raining, and he no-highted at the trials. But it was a great experience. He had fun. He handled it awesome. He was not even nervous, and I was really proud of. He went up there and tried to do the best he can.
And have you ever won an award like this, National Coach of the Year type of award?
What, excuse me?
Have you ever won an award like this?
No, I haven't. This award was a total shock to me. I mean, it was. I was on stage at this summit with all the other coaches, texting someone back home, and kind of give him a hard time. And I have a friend. He started hitting me. He goes, "Hey, that sounds like you're getting this award." I wasn't even paying attention. And all of a sudden, they announced my name, and I go up there. So it was a total shock, but a great honor, and so far one of the highlights of my coaching career.
How much do the facilities help out in your pole vault?
Great. I mean, with what we have at the Air Force Academy, I mean, we got the best facilities in the country. Coach Lindeman does a great job of letting me pretty much buy a pole vaulting pole when I need it, and those are not cheap. But the facilities, the atmosphere, everything at the Academy has just been awesome. I can't ask for more, and this is home. I don't want to go anywhere. That's what we got going on up there, I think is great, and I want to continue on for a very long time.
Tell everybody it's the altitude.
I try to, but that doesn't work.
Well, what kind of reception did you get from other people after you invited BYU?
I think everybody is excited to have the opportunity to meet him again, whether it's CSU or Wyoming. We've all had this rivalry thing going for a long time, and we want to keep it going whether in our conference or not. And I'll leave it to the people on a higher pay grade than me to decide whether they ever come back in our conference or not. But we like their coaching staff. We've gotten along with them for a long time, and we really enjoy the rivalry with BYU. And it'll be a rivalry this week. I mean, I think it'll be between us and them, and maybe CSU to win the meet on the men's side, and on the women's side probably between CSU and BYU. So we all enjoy the rivalry. They're excited that BYU's coming just like we are.
Can you offer any specifics as to what the pole vaulters are doing under Scotty?
Well, I guess the one thing I would add, first of all, this is the hardest working coach I've ever been around in my entire career. And when he first came, I used to tell people, it's the first guy that ever beats me to work in the morning. But one thing he's done is he realizes that in the pole vault and all the events that he coaches and recruits, it's not just the pole vault, but that we can go in Olympic sports. A service academy can go after the best athletes in the country because we can offer them as much as the Stanfords and the Oregons and the Nebraskas can offer them. And so he's had some success recruiting the best, and he's inspired the rest of our staff. And we've got an awesome coaching staff, and they're not afraid to bring in go out and visit and bring in on a campus visit some of the very best kids in the country. In track and field, unlike baseball, basketball, football, where every high school hotshot thinks they're going to be in the NBA, Major League Baseball, or the NFL. Track and field, the Air Force Academy, I mean, it's the pinnacle of what you do, and there's postgraduate opportunities. Now, a guy like Cal, he's excited about his Air Force career. Chase Cooper, he is excited about what he's going to do for the United States Air Force. And this is the culmination of their athletic careers. But we've got some other, like Scotty mentioned, the young guys like Joey and Dylan. They have aspirations of maybe making the Air Force's world-class athlete program if it's still around when they graduate. And so that's a nice thing out there. And whether the WCAP survives, sequestration or whatever, I don't know. Whether it does or not, an Air Force officer that's out there in their career field is going to have some opportunities to continue training and competing.
Is that like the Army?
world-class?
Yeah, the Army's a little different. First of all, they put more money into it. It's based at Fort Carson here. It's a dynamite program. A number of the Army WCAP athletes train on our facility. Indoors this time of the year when the weather's bad, Army WCAP guys are coming up to our facility all the time. We have a nice working relationship with them, but they're up there training. The Air Force's is, we've never had more than 3 or 4 track athletes, and there's never been more than about a dozen in it at one time. It's a great opportunity for somebody to compete post-collegiately and concentrate on athletics. It's not something it's something we mention to recruits, but it's not something that we use as a carrot to get them to come by any means. It's about serving their country. And like I say, Cal Simmons is so excited about his future in the Air Force. When we bring up to him the opportunity of maybe being in the WCAP, he's like, no, I'm going to go out and serve my country. I'm ready. That doesn't mean he's never going to pick up a vaulting pole. He's a crazy guy. Jumps off 10-meter towers from the ceiling, and the thing about pole vaulters, they're not afraid to fly Mach 2 with their hair on fire, and so they're not afraid to get up inverted on a pole 18 feet up in the air.
Scotty, did you vault in college?
No, I was a decathlete by trade.
Okay.
I went to the University of New Mexico and was a decathlete, and just an average decathlete. And pole vault, I was lucky when I was at the University of New Mexico. We had a couple really good pole vaulters when I was down there. One of my best friends, Simon Arkell, who competed for Australia in a couple Olympics, was kind of got me really going in the pole vault. And then when I moved to the University of Virginia, I just started coaching it and just spent a lot of time with it, and I just fell in love with it. I mean, that's one thing about pole vaulting. I feel it's kind of like a drug. It's an adrenaline rush, and we have a lot of fun, and that's the way I kind of coach it and everything. And that it just kept rolling and rolling, and the snowball keeps rolling and getting bigger, I hope. But I was a decathlete by trade, and I'm actually a track coach that really hates running.
Don't all track guys hate running?
Pretty much.
We hope not.
One lap's good enough for me.